Hello and good evening. Welcome to Brigade Group. My name is Rajeshwari. I head pre-sales at Brigade. I'm sure most of you have heard about year-end bonanza, and we are here in this expo virtually. While we are at the fag end of the year 2020, eagerly waiting to welcome 2021 with a lot more expectations in the forthcoming year. In the next 1 hour, you will be much closer to our brand Brigade and people in Brigade. We are one of India's leading property developers with over 3 decades of expertise in building positive experiences across residential, offices, retail, hospitality, and educational sectors. We are known for pioneering in innovation and trust. Our core values are QC first. QC stands for quality and customer centricity. First stands for fairness, innovation, responsible socially, and trustworthy. Today with us, we have Ms. Jayashree Kuru, Editor-in-Chief, MBTV by Magic Bricks. We have senior leadership team from Brigade Group, Mr. Vishwa Pratap Desu, Chief Sales Officer, Mr. Shubhorab Roy, Chief Sales Officer, Mr. Ayan Gupta, GM Sales and Strategy, and Rahul Ravindran, Manager International Sales. I request Ms. Jayashree to give us an insight on the real estate and the market. Ms. Jayashree, an industry veteran and one of the most trusted voice in real estate, will share some important insights to all our buyers today, participating across the globe. Over to you, Ms. Jayashree. Ms. Jayashree, you will have to unmute. Thank you.
Thank you, Raji. Thank you so much for joining us. It is an exciting year. It's a terrible year in many ways, but for the real estate sector, especially in India, it has been a defining year where a lot of people have been redefining what they think the home is. The first thing is that we've all been locked into our home, and this is where we have to see what happens to our perception of a home. Raji, can I get the slides on the show? Yeah. Okay. Let's go to the next one. So the home buyers have come back, and that is a good news for the industry, which has been struggling for the last few years because the home buyer was sitting on the fence. The COVID lockdown and the subsequent problems that they had with rental housing, with smaller housing and so on, most people have now decided that they want to buy a house. And I'll give you 2-3 reasons why I say this with confidence. First of all, on Magic Bricks, the search volumes have even crossed up pre-COVID levels. We have a huge amount of traffic which is coming, searching actively, and these seem to be the end users. Now, there's a small drop in budgets. Many people want houses within the same budget that they started with pre-COVID, or they want a house in maybe a slightly smaller budget. But the important thing is they want bigger homes. They want homes where you, your spouse, your children, maybe your parents can all coexist and live happily, which means that people are looking for larger homes. In terms of space, you can't crunch the space because people want slightly more livable space. The plot demand. This is something that we've seen in Magic Bricks. Demand for plots has gone up by about 30%. Peripheral areas of many large cities, Bengaluru, Chennai, Hyderabad, Ghaziabad, Faridabad, Delhi, we've seen this happening, and there are many drivers to this. First of all, about 75% of buyers are end users, and about 25% are bounty hunters. So what do I mean by bounty hunters? They are those people who are out there looking for a good deal. They have money to spend. They have the intention to buy. So if you can sweeten the deal, it is good for the industry, because these are people who will buy the house immediately. These are people who have the intent to buy. And there are realistic price expectations. About a year and a half ago, when I did a survey on the market, most people thought that the prices were going to crash dramatically. That has changed. People understand that what is the price in the market today is what we are looking for, what we are expecting to hold for some more time. So Raji, can I have the next slide, please? Now, why are people buying now? One, the home loan interest rates dropping significantly. It's the lowest that I've ever seen in my 25 years of writing about real estate, which means that we've dropped it to such an extent that it is a real sweetener. A lot of people are considering it because the home loan interest rates are low. Then COVID has driven the need for a home, their own home, and that I've already mentioned. They can buy where the prices are rational, because you're not traveling daily. We have all been locked into our houses for about a year. Even if you're traveling, there are some work from home options. People are going to work 2 days a week, 3 days a week. And so bulk of the people feel that this is going to continue in some measure post-pandemic. We have moved from a industrial age working cycle to a technology age working cycle. And as a result, people are quite okay to work where you're connected to workplaces, but not necessarily right next to the workplaces, or where, paying more to come closer to the workplace. The fear that good property will be sold out. Transactions have started taking place. People can see that this is happening. You want good stock, and therefore people have got off the fence and are actively looking. Then size matters as more members spend time at home. This I've already mentioned. Go on, Raji. Next slide, please. Okay, let's talk about the supply now. Now, many are consolidating portfolios, which means that if I had two small houses and I used to stay on rent in a third house, I would like to sell off the two small houses and consolidate into a bigger house, which I own. Definitely most consumers, about 70-80% of consumers have said that they would like to own the home and not stay on rent. And this means that smaller homes, there is a lot of upgrade happening. If I stay in a smaller house, I would like to sell that off and buy a bigger home. I would start buying a bigger home and then sell as I find a buyer for the smaller home. This is happening in many, many cases. Children have returned. Children who, grown-up children who were working in other cities have returned home. And during the COVID, the best thing that has happened is people have homed in. So family sizes are larger and suddenly bigger homes are in demand. Or there is a plus home. If you are staying in a 2-bedroom home in a apartment complex, you want a plus home, a smaller home where your children can be closer to you. And this is a trend that we have seen taking up. If you have a 1-bedroom house, as in Maharashtra, you want a 1+1. The +1 becomes the study. A 2+1, a 3+1, a 4+1. This is a trend that we've seen, that extra space for the study, whatever the size of your home, that extra space for the study is something that people want. Internet, telecom connectivity is a must. You and I are talking on the internet. If we don't have this connectivity, we cannot remain connected. We cannot work from home. And this is the better the connectivity, better the telecom infrastructure, this is in demand with consumers. Social infrastructure, schools, not yet, though people are looking for places with schools, but hospitals, entertainment, retail nearby is a must. Neighborhood retail, which means that mera bread and ka dukan paas mein hai, and that is important. People want to buy their daily needs and have access to it even during a pandemic. Please go on. We've seen a 25 to 30% rise in demand for plots. I've already mentioned budget is a consideration. Most demand plots in cheaper peripheral areas, and lifestyle and neighborhood matters, which means that developers who have not launched plotted development for a long time, it is worthwhile considering this, especially in those places that are off the main areas, because there the land is cheaper and people are willing to consider off-peak localities, peripheral localities. Please go on. Multi-story demand continues because of safety and common maintenance, especially well-managed multi-story apartments, where the community is strong. People are looking at this. But this is the year when we've seen the bungalows, villas, townhouses demand right back in existence. There is a significant demand here because it is easier to socially distance yourself, and there are fewer restrictions. In multi-story apartment complexes, you've seen that there are huge restrictions on what you can do and what you can't do. When can the maid come? Can your relatives come in? These have been factors which has determined the choice of apartments. Then connectivity is a must, but locations can be further off. I've mentioned that. Neighborhood shopping is a must. asked. Social infrastructure is a key consideration, hospitals and retail. Good brands, and this is a important point. I don't see people going for just about any brand. They want good brands where which have a history, track record of delivery, and who maintain their properties post delivery. So people, before they make their choices, are looking at other properties that the brand has delivered, and what is the condition of those properties even today. That is an important factor. Then all buyers are price sensitive today. Nobody wants to fritter away cash. So if you are giving even a premium apartment, it's not that 4 crore plus demand is very high. But the point is that they are still price sensitive and they're looking for value for money. If they spend that much money, they want to see the return on that investment. Young IT buyers are there in plenty. They haven't spent on travel. They haven't spent on food, transport, nothing. And if their salaries have not been significantly cut, they have a huge disposable surplus. They are willing to invest this in a good quality home. And they are seeking lower taxes. Taxes are pinching people. And Maharashtra's example of giving tax breaks and the developers saying that we will take the remaining tax breaks for a very short period of time, that has worked very well. Can we go on? I think that's so. How do you buy? You search online, you use IT and search tools extensively. This we've seen across the year. You shortlist, you ask questions, you discuss, and then finally, only when you've shortlisted the last 2 or 3 properties, that is when you go to the site and see. In some cases, as in NRIs and so on, even if you don't see it, I think a lot of trust in the online process has happened. People prefer completed units with no risk of delay. This is across the country. But if the under construction properties are by trusted brands, that is also being picked up. There's extensive research about previous projects, what you have done and what you're going to do. Look for realistic amenities. It's not the size of the swimming pool. Do I have an Olympic-sized swimming pool? So much as, do I have enough facilities to create a community so that if I'm locked in and I can't go out anywhere, am I safe? Is it well maintained? And do I have the basic facilities to keep myself sane? And they crowdsource ratings, very similar to Make My Trip and to TripAdvisor, and they are looking for information. So the more information that you put out, the better it is. Thank you so much. Raji, you're on mute.
Thank you, Jayashree. So now that we have all the insights of what's happening in the market and how the trend is changing, there's a very good point that Jayashree had mentioned, that today's home search is mainly on online. And I'm sure while we are all searching for a home online, brand comes to our mind. So Brigade is a preferred brand, for which why and how is something which all of us will have to know. Mr. Vishwa Pratap Desu, Chief Sales Officer, will address us on this. So over to you.
Thank you, Raji. Jayashree, those were very insightful points that you raised. Can we have the slides, please? So some of the points were very valid that you mentioned. So where does Brigade figure in? So Brigade advantage, you can say the brand is pretty old in the market. We are 33 years old and with a lot of experience. We have delivered umpteen number of buildings and square feet. To be precise, we have done over 70 million square feet of buildings, that is, which is 250 plus buildings. And we are glad to mention that we had 25,000 customers, happy customers, just in the residential segment alone. Of course, we have other segments also, office and retail segments also, but the larger segment is the residential segment. And consistently, Brigade has been one of the India's most trusted and awarded real estate brands. In fact, just to go one step forward also, it's also been consistently winning the Great Place to Work award for having the best practices in the HR realm. That's, in fact, for a decade we've been winning, and we are #1 in the real estate for quite some time in a Great Place to Work. We also practice some very important core values of QC first. I'll come to that in the subsequent slides. And I'm also proud to mention that we have pioneered integrated enclaves in the city of our origin, that is Bangalore. Like some of the points that Jayashree mentioned are very consistent with an integrated enclave. Is there a hospital or a medical facility within a nearby? Well, it's within a project. Few of our projects boast medical facilities within the project. Is there a retail store nearby? No, not even nearby. Within all our developments, we have small retail, convenience, daily convenience retail, which can take care of your daily needs. So on and so forth. We have projects like Brigade Millennium, Brigade Metropolis and Gateway, which have been delivered over about a decade ago. Currently, we are delivering projects, apartments in Brigade Orchards, where it's got apartments and villas. Brigade Meadows, Brigade Cornerstone Utopia, that's the latest project that we are doing, and including Brigade Eldorado, which is in North Bangalore, and Brigade Xanadu, which is in Chennai. So this is a brief about the brand. As we move on, I'll tell you more about the brand. Can you have the next slide? So we've been a renowned name in all the segments, residential, office, retail. Well, you have developers which are specialists in probably one or two fields, but we've been there in all residential, office, retail, clubs, big clubs that we have in part of large developments that we have made, hotels. So we we own hotels which are run by international brands like Sheraton, Holiday Inn, Grand Mercure, and so on. We also have convention centers and schools to our credit. As you can see some pictures, these are live pictures of our actual developments. In fact, we started off with a lofty target, that is Brigade Towers. It was a 14-story tower way back in 1986. And that was a real tall commercial building that a private developer had planned to develop and developed in those days, way back, as I said, more than 3 decades ago. And currently, we have also developed the World Trade Center, as we own the licenses to run the WTC brand in various southern cities. So we are successfully running the WTC in 3 cities. There is Bangalore, Chennai is just about up and running, and Cochin. We are also in the process of developing the WTC in Trivandrum and other cities. We are also scouting for space for WTC in Hyderabad. So that's a big brand that we are associated with. And we are the first one to have a real estate accelerator program to help startups get on to the next level. Startups which have a linkage to the real estate domain, which have interest, which will help the real estate realm. So we are proud to have this program, which has been running successfully for the last 3 years plus. Can we move on? So in terms of our footprint, we are there in all southern cities, large cities, starting with Bangalore, Mysore, and of course cities like Mangalore where we had done a residential project. We are also there in Chennai, Hyderabad, Chikmagalur, and Cochin. And now recently we started projects in Ahmedabad as part of the GIFT City, which is SEZ, and we have office and hospitality interest there. And of course, and Trivandrum also, where we are developing the World Trade Center there, and hotel. It's coming up in Trivandrum. So these are the various cities that we are present, and we continue to create landmarks across all these cities. Can we move on? So in the first slide, we just mentioned about the core values. Core values of Brigade are QC first. What does QC first stand for? Well, Q obviously stands for quality. QC stands for quality and customer centricity. And first stands for being fair, fairness, innovation. We'd like to innovate in whatever field we set a footprint in. Responsible socially, and we create trust. So people are happy to associate with us just because of the trust that we are able to give and create in the domain. So our mission is more smiles per square feet. Yes, we definitely want all our customers to be smiling and happy. And quality is it's our mission. It's not a quality doesn't happen by accident, but it's part of our core values and all our team members also. We have a very stringent quality assurance program before which we practice to ensure that the apartment which is handed over to a customer undergoes various checks. And we are happy to say that we almost reached a zero defect point. We are currently at less than 1 defect per apartment at the time of handover to a customer. That's a lofty and a very difficult goal to achieve, but yes, we've been achieving that. And more and very important is the smile that we look for and work for towards it. Can we move on, Jayashree? I think that was more about the Brigade brand. So quite briefly about Brigade, I was able to tell you. And back to Raji. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Pratap. So here we have some important factors which are our core values, QC first, and along with this, Brigade is renowned to have the right product and placed in the right place. So now we have Mr. Shubhorav Roy, Chief Sales Officer, to talk about a few points along with few questions raised. How has been the year 2020 and the recent trends in the home buying process? Over to you, Shubho.
Thanks, Raji, and I hope I'm audible.
Yes.
So taking cue from what Ms. Kurup and Mr. Pratap mentioned, we have been working on this aspects of understanding what the needs of the customer are and where their confidence lies, the highest in which asset class. And a survey from JLL, which was done in the month of July in midst of all the pandemic, and not surprisingly, it came out that real estate is among 67% of the chosen path of investment, where almost 67% of the clients chose to kind of park their money in a real estate product rather than any other asset classes, which included equities, mutual funds, fixed deposits, or even for that matter gold. The one reason, which obviously is the factor that it's a tangible asset. You can have a touch and feel, and at the end of the day, you have a home which eventually, at some point in time, will give you the required amount of returns or the comfort of being at your own place. Obviously, the equity markets and the mutual fund markets have their own challenges as well as their own set of advantages. But asset class such as real estate is something which is very, very preferred, and it all has always given that confidence to the clients to have something tangible. As we move on, Raji, to the next slide. So, what are the destinations that have come up in the recent past where customers have shown the maximum confidence of investing in? And not surprisingly, here again, Bangalore and Chennai has come up as one of the most desirable locations for customers to kind of invest in a real estate property, be it for end use or for that matter for investments. Followed very closely by Hyderabad and then by Pune, Mumbai. Now, incidentally, Brigade is in our portfolio, almost 70% of our residential portfolio lies in Bangalore, followed by Chennai and Hyderabad. So all the desirable locations and the growth corridors are actually being serviced by Brigade, and hence it is very, very important for all of us to understand that a Brigade property is there in your city of choice, and which, according to most of the home buyers, are the most desirable ones. So moving on. So what happened during the pandemic? I think Jayashree has kind of given a very, very detailed projection of what are the things that have turned up during these events. So yes, very well captured by her, saying that when she mentioned that home buyers have been or real estate has been the most they have benefited the most from this pandemic, and rightly so. It has actually been witnessed in our portfolio also that the NRI clients have shown significant amount of confidence in trusted brands in the last few months, where we have seen a surge in the demand for the NRI clients for trusted developers like Brigade. In our portfolio also, the share of the NRI business has gone up considerably. We have also seen the properties which again Jayashree highlighted, that the demand for larger homes, luxury homes, properties which are nearing to completion or ready, That kind of homes have have been in a lot of demand. People had disposable income, and with that they wanted to either upgrade or wanted to kind of move into better homes with infrastructure in place, which Mr. Pratap highlighted that Brigade has been doing this and has been focusing on these kind of developments for the last few years, and it actually is showing that why is it necessary to have such integrated enclaves in your portfolio, or when you're buying, why is it important to buy in integrated enclaves? COVID has actually given us that harsh reality. So as we move on to the next slide, so I mean, how has Bangalore performed now? While the the figures are slightly, I mean, it's of the last 2 years that we have seen, it still holds relevance, because even in the last 2 years, whereas most of the markets in the country has not shown any tangible growth, Bangalore as a city has actually given a growth in terms of absorption. That's one. Over the last 2 quarters, what has happened, and that's a very important factor for all of you to understand. And what has happened in the last 2 quarters is that while yes, the first 2 months of the quarter, it was really bad for all the real estate players and all industries for that matter. Real estate bounced back from the third month itself, and quality developers like Brigade has seen a surge in the overall demand. Inquiries, just as mentioned by Ms. Jayashree, went up, and we actually saw a lot of serious buyers coming into the market and concluding transactions. Fence sitters who were actually contemplating buying a home and were not being able to take decisions, they made those decisions, resulting which we saw a very, very strong comeback in the Q2, and that trend still continues in the third quarter, where actually we have seen that the demand is very, very robust. And with the kind of or developments that are happening, and with the vaccine in the kind of the near vicinity, where we will be getting the good news shortly, I think it holds a very, very promising year of 2021 as well as 2022. It will be a very promising year for real estate as well in the residential space. Brigade is, obviously one of the leading players in this industry, and we have seen that the demand from the buyers and the confidence that the buyers have shown on our brand is tremendous. And we have also, tried living up to the expectations of the buyers, as Mr. Pratap mentioned, in terms of our quality focus, kind of focusing on customer needs, requirements, and that's why the products that we have across our portfolio has helped the buyers actually to choose the right, a home for themselves. So yeah, all in all, it's been very good Q2 and a very, very robust Q3 that we are witnessing. And recently we have launched another new product even in this market in Hyderabad, and that project has seen fantastic demand, and we have sold record units in the first month itself. So as we move on, Raji. So that's in a nutshell as to why the markets, which are the markets where you should focus and where you should put your money. If you're an end user, obviously Bangalore, Chennai, Hyderabad remains the preferred destinations. So now I will hand it over back to Raji, and she will take it from here. I hope this insight was helpful for all of you.
Thank you, Shubho. So, I mean, that's a very positive note with the pandemic during 2020, and it's a very high expectation from 2021. Here we are on the year-end bonanza. So, what kind of offers and how is it going to help investors or the end users? We have Mr. Ayan Gupta, General Manager Sales, who will discuss on the offers for today. Over to you, Ayan.
Thanks, Raji. Good evening, everyone. And first of all, I want to thank all of you for taking out time and joining us for this webinar event. I hope all of you are in safe health. So, what I would be talking about here are the points which have already been kind of covered by major, major aspects by both the CSOs and Ms. Jayashree. I mean, one of the critical factors in current date, which is actually kind of influencing the home buying decisions, is the current home loan interest rate. RBI has been very, very aggressive in terms of reducing the repo rates, which has in turn has resulted in like major leading financial institutions like State Bank of India, HDFC, offering home loans as low as 6.95%. So as very rightly mentioned by Ms. Jayashree, this is like in the last 20-25 years, this has been the lowest in terms of the home loan interest when it comes to home loan interest rates. Okay, one of the critical point about Bangalore market, which is one of the leading cities in the portfolio of Brigade. Okay, that the pricing and the overall ticket offering in this particular market is still inside a very consumable bracket. So something which is very affordable in nature, and it also helps you giving a good amount of ceiling for the potential growth. So that is something which actually drives the demand in the Bangalore market. One of the critical things which again has been discussed by the CSO Mr. Roy is that real estate as an asset class is of course getting preferred over all the other asset classes just because of the fact that it's a tangible asset and it will start giving you returns in terms of the rental or I mean in terms of the capital gains that will be definitely getting from this particular asset compared to the volatility which is being associated with the equity and the commodity market. Integrated enclaves, yes, has become one of the major demand things, wherein like everything which has been summarized by all the other panelists before, that it is becoming one of the needs of the hour, wherein like people are looking at all the facilities within hands distance to ensure that they don't have to travel too much and they are able to access each and everything very quickly. So that is one of the things. One of the key drivers from the international markets for us has been the depreciating rupee against all the major currencies. That is something which has created a very good amount of arbitrage. So almost 4 to 5 to 6% of arbitrage has been created against the US dollar or the AED, the dirham, or any other currency for that matter in the last couple of quarters, which has actually resulted into a very sharp increase in terms of the NRI demand. And of course, PMAY, which is an added scheme by the government, helps you aid in reducing your loan amount to a larger extent, basically reducing your principal and thereby reducing the total outflow that as a customer that you'll be looking at. So Raji will move to the next slide. Yeah, so now I will be focusing on some of the critical things, I mean, which I am sure that you guys, all of you will be interested in looking into because as, all the panelists said that we are running our year-end bonanza. So we have offer for each and every project currently running, whether it's a ready-to-move-in project or under construction project. So I will not read each and everything. So major places what we are running right now is our interest holidays, which are ranging from 6 months up to 2 years. So basically you are making a 10% or a 20% payment and then you don't have to pay anything for the next 2 years. So that is the beauty of, year-end bonanza. So these are the offers which are limited period ones and will be restricted for a limited period on limited number of units. Going forward to the next slide. So if we look at the new launches, yes, we have not done this before, but we are doing it now. It's only for you in the year-end bonanza, wherein like the fastest moving product of Brigade, like Brigade Utopia, Brigade Eldorado, all these projects have a very solid 24 months payment holiday offer in taking. We have one of the projects called Brigade Orchards, which is in Devanali, has apartments Kino, which has a 1-year payment holiday right now. And of course, currently the Brigade Citadel, which has been launched in Hyderabad, is under the pre-launch offer. So this is something which you should look to grab it. We'll go to the next slide. Yeah. So some of our ready to move in projects, yes, we are also giving you flexibility in terms of paying the money, which will be due upfront over a relaxed period of time. So even for our ready to move in projects, we are giving durations as 1 year or 6 months as the payment holiday. So basically your interest EMI will be commencing after paying the booking amount. You will get an interest-free period of around 6 to 12 months period, after which your EMI is going to commence. So, yeah, we can go to the next slide. So from here, I would like to hand it over back to Raji, who will take it over from here and to do let us know which are the best homes and which are the best project to buy in the Brigade portfolio. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Ayan. While you are presenting, there was a question if we can visit to the site now and understand why we offer and avail this in the coming months. I think that we would want to mention right now. It's right now, right here, and it isn't for 2021. So let's back the YEB offer as soon as possible, and please visit our virtual expo today or drop into any of our project sites. Thank you. And I introduce Mr. Rahul Ravindran, who's handling international sales, and he would also be sharing a little more information of our projects and locations where we are present. Over to you, Rahul.
Thank you, Raji. Good evening, everyone. I would actually take you, run you all through our portfolio. To start with, currently in South India, we have over 30 projects in 4 cities, wherein we have budget range starting from 29 lakhs all the way to 4.5 crores. To start with the ready-to-move-in property, I'll start with Bangalore. As Ms. Jayashree actually informed, integrated enclave is people actually looking, they incline more towards the integrated enclave projects. So we have something in Devnali, which is called Brigade Orchards, where we have a shopping arcade, a proposed hospital which is coming up. There's a school within the campus. There's a signature resort, and there are multiple apartment towers as well as villas as well. So we have properties here, apartments which is called Cedar and Deodar, where the value starts at 43 lakhs onwards. And then we have another tower which is called Juniper, where it starts from 67 lakhs onwards. And the signature villa basically starts at 4.9 crores onwards. There are close to about 700 families living currently at this particular project. And more and more people are visiting our site because they are more interested with the integrated enclave concept. So hence, people who are looking at ready to move in property, that to the developing corridor, which is the northern side of Bangalore. Hence, people are more inclined towards this particular project. Moving on to another property, which is again in Devnali itself, which is called Brigade Atmosphere. It's a villa property. And in fact, we are building this particular project in 18 acres. In fact, phase 1 is ready to move in. Totally about 50 villas are here. We have a 4 BHK villa starting at 2.5 CR onwards. We have another property which is called Brigade Exotica, which is on Old Madras Road. A wonderful structured building, totally about 35-story twin tower, I would say. Spread across 10.5 acres. 80% is completely open space, and only in 20% we have actually built 2 towers, where each tower has got only about 227 apartments. Currently, there are a lot of families who are living here. We have very few inventories available at this particular project. We have 3 bedroom starting at 1.7 CR onwards, and 4 bedroom starting at 2.43 CR onwards. Another project, again on off Old Madras Road, which is Budigere Cross, which connects to our International Airport Road or the new developing corridor called the Aerospace Park, the Brigade Buena Vista. Basically, phase 1 is completed and people have already started moving in here. We have 2 BHKs starting at 71 lakhs onwards. Another property, which is in the eastern side of Bangalore, which is EPIP Whitefield Zone. We have 4 BHKs starting at 2.17 CR onwards. Now, a lot of families are already living here, and currently we have only few inventories available, that one 4 BHK. Brigade Panorama, another beautiful property on Mysore Road. Here again, it's ready to move in. We have a lot of families already living here, and built across 11 acres. We have phase 1 and phase 2, both are totally consisting about 1,030 apartments. price ranging from 56 lakhs onwards. Another property on Kanakpura Main Road is called Brigade Meadows, spread across 60 acres. Totally about in each, there are multiple towers. So we have a tower called Plumeria Lifestyle, close to about 412 apartments are there. Here, the price starting from 67 lakhs onwards. This is about Bangalore, where we have ready to move in property. In Mysore, we have three major projects. One is Brigade Mountain View, which is on Ooty Main Road. We actually spread across 4 acres of the entire project. And here we have 3 and 4 BHK, in fact, no, 4.5, 3 BHK starting from 97 lakhs onwards. Another property, Brigade Symphony, which is at KRS Road, starting at 76 lakhs onwards. Basically, this particular property again is spread across 7 acres. Quite a lot of families already living here as well. Another villa property we have in Mysore, which is called Brigade Palm Grove at Bugari Road. Villa starting at 3.59 crores onwards. We have, in fact, about 2 villas available this project. Moving on to the next slide, to ongoing projects. So currently in Bangalore, we have multiple ongoing projects. Again, starting from northern side of Bangalore, from Devnali, Brigade Orchards, which is a 135 acres land parcel, where again, as I said earlier, we have a shopping arcade, a proposed hospital, then we have a school, signature resort, and multiple apartments, which are in ready to move in category. And then in the under construction, we have Kino, where 1 BHK starts from 29 lakhs onwards. Now, in this tower, we have 1.5, and 2 BHK apartments only. Another property towards the northern side of Bangalore, which is called Brigade Brick Lane. We are actually building this on Kogilu Road. It's on Jakur. It's a low-rise building with G+4 structure. And we have only about 1 and 2 BHKs available in this particular project, spread across 8 acres. Totally about 749 apartments, would be here in this particular property. We're looking at the completion date by December 2021. 1 BHK starts at 38 lakhs onwards. Towards northern Bangalore, we have another ongoing property, Brigade Eldorado, which is a part of Aerospace Park, which is a 3,000 acres development, spread across 50 acres, an integrated enclave, where we have facilities like a 4-screen movie theater, a retail outlet, shopping center, and a proposed healthcare center as well. And again, in this particular property, in the 50 acres, totally about 80% is open space and 20% we're doing the development. Here, we have multiple towers again, which we have currently open, where we have 2 BHK starting from 34 lakhs onwards. Another property towards northern side of Bangalore, Brigade Parkside North and Jalalli. Now, this particular property is spread across 5 acres, again a low-rise building, G+4 structure, totally about 434 apartments we are building here. Completion date is around September 2021. And we have 1 and 2 BHK in this particular property, starting at 44 lakhs onwards. Now, moving towards the eastern side of Bangalore, which is your developed corridor, I would say, the IT hub of Bangalore. We have Brigade Woods, which is situated in Whitefield, which is opposite ITPL. Now, in this particular property, we had 2.5 and 3 BHK. And due to the huge demand, all the 2 and 2.5 BHKs are sold out, and we have very few 3 BHKs available in this particular project. Now, in this particular property, again, we're building in 6.3 acres. Totally about 333 apartments are coming up in this particular project. Again, a G+4 structure, low-rise building. Completion time, June 2021. Price starting from 1.21 CR onwards. Now, Brigade Cornerstone Utopia, another integrated enclave that we are building towards the eastern side of Bangalore. Location is a key factor for this particular property. Centrally located, easy access to Whitefield, Marthali, and Sarjapur, where all the main IT companies are actually situated. Now, as an integrated enclave, we have a commercial building where there would be a lot of office spaces. Then we have a movie theater again, a 5-screen movie theater, retail outlet, shopping center. and then multiple residential towers. We have smaller dimension 1 and 2 BHK and goes all the way to larger size 2 and 3 BHK as well. There are multiple towers, as you see on the screen. It's Eden, Serene, and Halcyon and Tranquil Tower. As I know, these are the 4 towers that we have currently open, where 1 BHK in Eden Tower starts from 41 lakhs onwards. In Serene, a 2 BHK is 70 lakhs onwards. Halcyon, which is a only 3 BHK apartment tower, price starting from 1.1 CR onwards. Tranquil Tower, a 2 BHK starts at 77 lakhs onwards. This particular project is spread across 47 acres. And as I mentioned earlier, centrally located, easy access to multiple IT companies, a lot of schools in the proximity, and as well as your healthcare centers as well. Brigade Buena Vista, as I mentioned earlier, so this particular property we are building in 2 phases. Phase 1, already people have started moving in. And phase 2, it's about to get completed. In fact, next year by June, we're looking at completing this particular tower as well, where we have again 2 BHKs available in this particular tower, starting at 62 lakhs onwards. Brigade 7 Gardens. This particular property is situated in the southern part of Bangalore. Specifically mentioning it's Banchankri 6th stage. And this particular property, we are actually looking at, we have 1, 2, and 3 BHKs, where we have 2 BHKs starting from 75 lakhs onwards. Moving on to Chennai. Now, as Mr. Pratap actually mentioned, can we actually go back? Yeah. Mr. Pratap actually mentioned that we are a pioneer and license holders of building a World Trade Center in South Bangalore. South India. So we are actually the structure is kind of completed, which is the World Trade Center coming up on OMR Perangudi. So here we are also building a luxury apartments. Basically, 2 towers are coming up in this particular project. Spread across 5.5 acres, totally about 298 apartments are coming up in this project. Completion date, we are looking at October 2024, where 3 BHK starts from 2.2 crores onwards. In Mysore, we have another property which we are looking at completing by next year, September 2021, which is Brigade Topaz on Banur Road, spread across 1.15 acres. Totally about 80 apartments are coming up in this particular project. And we have 2 and 3 BHK. Again, very few inventories are available in this particular property. Price starting at 57 lakhs onwards. Next slide, please. So in the new launch category, we have multiple projects in different cities. Starting from Bangalore, we have Brigade El Dorado, where we have opened a new tower called Jasper. Again, an integrated enclave, where we have 2 BHK starting from 33 lakhs onwards. Now, Hyderabad is, again, as Mr. Roy mentioned, that it was one of the fastest moving properties for Brigade as well. Brigade Citadel, we are actually building this in Moti Nagar. Totally, the land parcel is spread across 11.73 acres. Multiple towers are going to be coming up here, consist of 2 and 3 BHK, price starting from 70 lakhs onwards. In Chennai, this is another integrated enclave that we are building here, Brigade Xanadu, which is coming up in Mogope West. Here, we have actually completed phase 1. We've started handing over to different customers. In phase 2, which is called Bonito, we have apartments starting from 78 lakhs onwards. And now another phase 3 is also we have opened. It's called Destino, where 1 BHK starts from 48 lakhs onwards. Now, in Mysore, we have just started marketing another property called Brigade Sapphire, spread across 1 acre. Totally about 93 apartments would be coming up here. It's a G+9 structure where we have 2 and 3 BHK starting from 51 lakhs onwards. Next slide, please. So yeah, in fact, buying home with Brigade has become very safe and secure and comfortable. In fact, our entire process has gone online, from your booking process to your payment transfer to your allotment or agreement signing. Everything has gone digital. At the same time, if you're looking at, not able to visit our site, me and our team is actually, there available to give you a virtual tour about the property or do a video conferencing to explain more about each and every project that I've explained, whether it's in the ready to move in or even in the under construction or in the new launch category. And of course, our site office is also very safe, and we are actually taking all precautions at each and every site. So hence, if at all you're not able to come down, you can always tell any of your relatives to come down to our site, have a look at our property. Now also, if at all, anytime soon, if you're actually coming down, you can always visit our site as well. Right. Over to you, Raji.
Thank you, Rahul. Very insightful. Brigade projects compete each other. I'm sure you will find your dream home, and I request each one of you to experience the virtual expo, talk to our sales officials available now on this platform, and get the best home for you. While we are giving you as much as information today for you to nail onto your dream home, dear viewers, we would also like to inform that we have Brigade Plus, which is an easy home package. Once you buy a home, it is convenient for you to talk to our officials and understand our package in terms of your interior aspects or any kind of fittings, electrical fittings, your wardrobes, your modular kitchens, and all that is required for you to immediately move on. So please explore this while you sign a home with us. And I'm sure most of you in this pandemic would have understood home buying process is a tedious process. And in terms of documentation, in terms of home loan assistance, and somebody to be available to talk to or to interact with. This is a challenging times. However, Brigade has made it easier for you. Here for you is an initiative to connect with you. We have a toll-free number. One can call here for any information, and our relationship manager will reach you out and clarify, or you can drop in your queries to hereforyou@brigadegroup.com. And this service is available throughout 365 days for you to raise a query on your home. So here we go, participants, and we have few question and answers, questions, and this is for us to answer. While Rahul already explained how we are online in the booking process, there is a question. How has Brigade adjusted to the current times in reaching out to prospective buyers? Rahul, would you like to answer this question?
Yeah, Raji. Now, in fact, to all the NRIs, we in fact, are conducting video conferencing or virtual tour of each and every project, and on a day-to-day basis, like whether I'm sure, like there are a lot of customers who are in different time zones. We try to adjust in different time zones and try to give more information about the project, either in the same day where we actually host the virtual tour, or probably spread across 1 or 2 days. So yeah, that's a way that we're looking at connecting with different customers across the globe.
Yeah, so it's just not about the buying process, not about the marketing. Like I mentioned, Here For You is also online. So we have adapted this post-pandemic, and I request each one of you to take a broader look at all these concepts here. The second question that we have for today is, why should a person buy now? Shubho or Pratap sir, one of you. Pratap sir, would you like to answer?
Yeah, okay. So I think we did cover this during the initial part of the presentation. Ms. Jayshree also spoke a bit about that. So I would like to just state that this is the right time to buy due to various reasons, because there are so many factors that are helping someone buy their own home. For example, the interest rates are at an all-time low. Developers are giving at prices, they're not increase the prices in spite of increase in costs. Obviously, COVID has had a repercussion on costs, but that is not translated into higher prices or higher rates. So there are good offers, good prices, and hence this is the right time to buy, I would say, briefly to just cover that point.
Thank you,
Yes,
Mr. Pratap. So we have another interesting question. Why people should buy a Brigade home? I'm sure you touched this point during discussing about brand Brigade, sir, but do you want to take this up again?
Yeah, I did touch upon that also. So one would be the experience in this field. I think experience matters a lot. So as I mentioned, we have 3 decades plus experience in this domain. So we know where to figure out the right location and to create the right product. We've seen that consistently. We've seen that our developments provide great appreciation in capital values, and even in terms of, if you're not staying, also in terms of rental returns also, there's a good 10-20% higher than the immediate neighborhood. That's on the investment part. And if you're staying and using it for yourself, the amenities, the open areas, the landscaping, the finer details that go into all our developments, that itself, it's compelling factors. These are compelling factors for someone to consider our property. As I say, seeing is believing. So I would request anyone who is interested to just connect with us and drop by at our properties so that we can showcase our properties.
Thank you, Mr. Pratap. So one last question for today. What is the interest of investor from other parts of India in Bangalore? Ms. Jayashree, would you like to take this question?
25% of consumers today are investors who are looking for good deals. And Bangalore, with as an IT destination, has already established itself as a good property market with reasonably good returns. And that's why I think what is happening is anything that is close to IT corridors, job hubs, or maybe even connectivity corridors, these are the ones that are being picked up. Also, the new lines of connectivity, the suburban rail, the metro rail, and so on, these are all drivers. So we have seen in our research has shown us that wherever there is a metro rail or a suburban, these nodes, you see a 10 to 25% jump in rental values immediately, and property sale, even for purchase, the values go up by about 10-15% and slowly scale up as the convenience grows. So these are all drivers, and I think Bangalore is poised well. There is a lot of digging and things like that because of the smart city. But as we go forward, what you will see is a more planned, more urbanized, well urbanized city. And already as the consumer mindset of buying in Bangalore is rather high.
Thank you, Ms. Jayashree. So here we come to an end of this session. However, our virtual expo is live and our officials are looking forward to interact with you. And dear viewers, this is my request. Please take the year-end bonanza offer and look for your dream home in 2020. And we are here assuring the best quality and the best experience that you would have. Thank you very much, all the panelists, Ms. Jayashree and Mr. Pratap, Mr. Shubhora Roy, Ayan, and Rahul for your time and for all the insightful information today for our viewers. Thank you very much. And with this note, year-end bonanza comes to an end of this month. Here's our action items. So please call us on the toll-free number or write to us at salesenquiry@brigadegroup.com. Our website is on for a chat, or the virtual expo is around for you to explore many more details on Brigade Group. Thank you very much to all the panelists and the viewers today.
Thank you, Raji. Thank you, Ms. Jayashree, and thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Ms.
Thank you,
Jayashree.
sir.
Thanks, Raji.